So today we are going to be discussing 3 strategies you can implement as you are near the phase of retirement. So the 3 strategies are going to be risk allocation, bucketing your money, and then the mental shift. So the first strategy we would suggest is reducing your overall risk. Leading up into retirement, you have the ability to be more aggressive in your investment selections. However, as you are nearing the phase of retirement, you have to begin reducing that risk. It's not about growing the bucket anymore. Now it's about preserving what you have. So one of our suggestions would be to look at your risk allocation and again, begin to reduce the amount of risk that you are taking so that you can begin to sustain the amount of funds that you have accumulated over an X amount of years. The second strategy we would suggest implementing is bucketizing your money. Now you're taking a look at your overall portfolio and designating a portion of funds and placing them in a more protective state, and then deciding how much you want to leave at risk in the market. Here we like to consider a 60-40 blend in regards to your risk allocation. 60% of your overall assets would remain in the market, while 40% of your overall assets would now be more in a protective state. We would also suggest adding another layer of emergency funds that you would typically use in emergency. So those are funds you would keep more liquid to make sure that you have an ample amount of funds in the event that something sporadically came up. So typically in an emergency fund, I would suggest leaving about 10% of your overall assets more so in a liquid state in the event that an emergency were to arise, while the remaining 30% would be more in a protective state. It wouldn't be as liquid or accessible. However, it would be a guaranteed income stream for you moving forward. So the third strategy in approaching retirement is just simply a mental shift. You've gone all of these years being aggressive within the market, so it's hard to grasp the concept of now reducing that risk. So it's going to take some time to reevaluate how you look at your investments. One of the things that we would suggest is kind of slowing down the intake of all of the headliners. It causes unnecessary stress and chaos when you've taken the time to proactively construct your portfolio in more of a protective state. Actively monitoring investments no longer becomes an everyday job. We don't suggest that you don't watch the stock market. However, we would suggest kind of reducing the amount of information that you're taking in, and also just accepting the fact that you've done a wonderful job accumulating your overall asset number, whatever that number is. Now it's about sustaining it. And a part of that is to become a little bit more relaxed because, again, you've proactively done what you needed to do to construct yourself a portfolio that is going to protect you in down markets and in even positive market environments. Those were 3 strategies to change your investment philosophy as you approach retirement. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe.